ahead, very much low compared to this one on HP. So it looks like Jin is going to lose this, but he still has a larger army count. FeAge going for 3 scouts now. I'm not sure where his stable is. There it is. I didn't see him build that. But he might be able to get a little bit of harassment in here. However, his villagers are very close to his town centre. And these are going to be hard to get at. But that's 1 villager lost by the looks of it. And if Jin doesn't react, he's going to lose a couple more. However, back at his main base, he's also having villagers picked off, so it's fairly even. FeAge still slightly ahead in economy. And looking at the population count, Jin is only 1 ahead. And Jin also has the larger army. So that means that FeAge has got more villagers. However, he is going to lose a couple more if he hangs around there for too long. Garrisoning... just ungarrisoned there. And that tower has now gone for Jin. But Jin, surprisingly, starting to mine some stone here, and that is very cheeky. Mining your opponent's stone in their base. However, FeAge starting to bring out a small force now. That's 4 skirmishers against 6 over there. But Jin is really going to be aiming to take out as many villagers as he can, and not so much engage in combat with other soldiers. FeAge still doing harassment at the main base for Jin. He's killed 1 or 2 villagers down here, and a couple over here as well. Jin's wood is very exposed. However, FeAge coming back across the map now, probably to reinforce this area. Pardon me. To reinforce this area. Now, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. FeAge has got quite a good economical advantage. Although, he could easily lose villagers if he's not careful. He's actually going for an attack with those villagers. And he's got quite a good backup there. I think FeAge is actually ahead in army count now. That's probably due to his larger economy. However, Jinchuriki is going all in with his villagers, going for the villager attack on the skirmishers. And it's hard to see where this is going to go, really. Those villagers are most likely going to be lost. But Jin forced to form a retreat. It's not very often that you actually see villagers attacking military units. Archer now coming out for FeAge, and more scouts, more archers, building a blacksmith, and nothing coming out the barracks. So that blacksmith's going to allow him to get some upgrades on his units, which could be pretty crucial to repelling this attack. However, Jin has pretty much got nothing left in this area now. He's retreating across the map with 1 villager and 3 skirmishers. And producing a few more units over here. Let's see what he's actually got queued up. Queuing up skirmishers. So it looks like Jin's going for a mainly skirmisher force. But of course, being forced to retreat right back to his base. Now only just getting a stable up to build some of those scout cavalries, which are probably going to be quite effective against this force here. Skirmishers not so strong against cavalry. And also, if you're fairly new to Age of Empires, I'll explain the armour down here. You've got a number followed by a slash followed by another number, and that signifies which type of armour they have. Skirmishers have 0 plate armour and 3 pierce armour, which means that skirmishers have no armour against sword attacks, but they have got 3 armour against weapon attacks, such as skirmishers, javelins, and archers' arrows. So skirmishers fare better in a arrow fight. However, if they take hits from things like spearmen and cavalry, they're much weaker against them. And if we look at the scout cavalry, they too have no armour against weapons. However, they do have armour against missile attack. That's the one I was looking for. So these skirmishers are going to be able to get picked off fairly easily by these scouts, if they actually get out of there in time. It looks like Jin is just not paying attention here, going to take out his scout first, before heading out onto these skirmishers. And he's retreating now. Has he got anything to back it up with? Doesn't look like he's got too much. He is still retreating. And backing up his base as well with a few more archers. Archers having absolutely no armor whatsoever. But that's compensated for by having a higher attack and a higher range than the skirmisher. Jinchuriki, I always go to say a second part of his name. I'm just going to call him Jin. Keep telling myself that, I don't do it. Jin now producing some skirmishers still over here. And he's going to be able to attack this area with that. However, this tower could cause a problem if any villagers were to garrison in there. And now Jin having to retreat, being faced with a few more archers. Early on in the game, archers aren't that effective against fast moving units either, because they aren't very accurate until you get Thumb Ring upgrade and other upgrades that are available to make your archers more accurate, such as ballistics. But Thumb Ring is the main research to get. However, FeAge is quite out of place here, and Jin is able to bring in some skirmishers here. Whether or not he's going to be able to pick off some of these villagers, I don't know. He's going to come into range of this watchtower. And that's quite clever. He's going to take out this palisade rather than going for the watchtower here. However, he's not going to be able to get through there anytime soon. And going straight past his units over here and going straight into the base with his cavalry. See what he can pick off. Still producing guys from his archery range over here. And he's just bandying around really. He's not actually going in for any major attack, but FeAge hot on his heels, so he'd be hard pressed to do that. This early pressure is not proving to be that effective. It could have been a lot more effective if he'd have got that pressure on a bit more early, and if FeAge wasn't so quick to respond to it by building this tower here. However, as it stands, FeAge has got a lead. If we look at the scores now, FeAge is a good 300 ahead. And Jin once again forced to retreat. Now if FeAge was to go and attack the base of Jin, it would be almost like base racing. He's not got too much to protect this. And FeAge would be able to attack quite easily from this angle. However, that would just leave him open at his base, and Jin would be able to bring his skirmishers straight back in like he's doing now. FeAge, however, building up some palisades here to stop him from getting too close. It looks like both players are going to attack for the base. Some idle villagers there, they need to be sorted out pretty quickly. FeAge now bringing his soldiers in, whilst at the same time Jin is still going for that palisade. Of course, if he can get through there, he's going to completely bypass this tower, which will give him a good access to these villagers here. And those villagers now going into... I thought they were going to go repair, but no, they're building another palisade. So Jin isn't going to be getting in there anytime soon. On the other hand, we've got FeAge now coming in. And Jin only just building a barracks. So that means he's able to upgrade a lot slower than FeAge. FeAge now having to move away from that town centre so he doesn't get caught out of position. And microing these away. Doesn't look like he's fast enough there though. However, it could be an easy win in this little battle for FeAge. Still microing them away. If he can take out those cavalry, he'll have no problem taking out these skirmishers. However, he's not doing too much about that. Now back at FeAge's base, he's once again driving Jin away. And FeAge has just gone castle. And he's got quite a good lead there because Jin hasn't even started researching Castle Age yet. He's still pumping out villagers and he needs another 300 food to be able to get that research. FeAge now able to get those knights out, and that's going to give him a great advantage at taking out his army. Is he creating any knights? Where is his stable gone? Yes, he is. He's building 3 knights right now, and he's got enough resources to produce quite a few more. However, 3 knights at this stage, where Jin is still using a feudal age army, is absolutely terrible for Jin. bringing those knights in there, they'll clean up that really quickly. They're well protected against missile damage with that bonus armor on here. So knights really now good for FeAge. It's looking good for him. And that early pressure just hasn't worked for Jin. He wasn't able to get out enough units, and consequently, look, there we go, good game. He's given up. He's seen those knights, and he's decided to resign now before it's too late. So, good game. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that video, and you've been able to take something away from that with my little message earlier on. I'll be looking to bring out another video tomorrow, or as soon as I can. Obviously, I don't want to provide too much content, because that would just be pointless, as you wouldn't have time to watch it all, and you wouldn't enjoy it as much. So, anyway, I will look for another game now, and hopefully get recording one for tomorrow. And yes, please leave me a comment and give me some feedback, maybe even a rating if you're feeling generous enough, and I will see you soon.